missing someone.
Blizzard was getting worse, but we had to investigate the rumors of a cure. Hey, this is Baundiesel bringing you another video in my Video Everyday challenge for August of 2018. Today, we're going to be talking a little bit about survival, what I'm hoping for it, what I hope they improve on, and things like that. So let's jump right on in. So, survival, my favorite mode in Division 1. I really like the underground. I like just the general LZ, the game in general, even the missions. I still don't mind running them. But if there's one mode that still gets me going, it's PvP survival. Admittedly, it's been a bit neglected since it came out. We've had a few minor fixes and so on, but nothing huge, and that just, at this point, kind of is what it is. I could make a stink about it, not my style, ready to move on. The biggest issue is the low player counts. I really wish that the game would be free. I wish that they would allow the DLCs to all be free for everyone at this point. I suspect there's significant reasons why, likely financial, likely other as well, but again, that's kind of an is what it is thing. But looking forward, Division 2 comes out in less than a year, and I think we are probably going to get some kind of Division 2 survival mode, and I want to talk about a few things I think that's either needs or things I think it's going to include. First, randomize the loot. It's been a thing that people have been asking for out of survival basically since it came out. Many of the people who grinded survival hard to get that MDR when it first came out developed routes and learned essentially the location of almost every gun box, every gear box, every loot box. Since it doesn't change, it doesn't mix up, since the enemies are always in the same place for the most part on a route, these people became bored with it really quickly. Myself, hasn't really happened because I have a general route I take. I know where some stuff is. I more know if I'm in a location that looks a certain way, I know where stuff is or where it's probably going to be. But some kind of randomization is huge. Just to keep it interesting. Randomize enemies, randomize the loot, randomize even where the players spawn, things like that. I don't know. That happens a little bit now, but not probably as much as it should or the way it should. Second thing, some kind of new push system. And by push system, I'm talking about Fortnite's Storm. I'm talking about PUBG's Wall, the circle coming in. I'm talking about, you know, similar things in all of the BR games that we're seeing. There's some games like Radical Heights that use a grid system, and some people really enjoy that. I don't know. All I'm saying is that there needs to be a different push. I do not believe we're going to get another survival with a cold factor, the way that we did in Division 1 because of a weather/lore problem when it comes to Washington, D.C. in the summer. People have thrown out ideas like dehydration or starvation, other things like that. I think that may actually factor in to survival, but I don't think that's going to be the driving force the way that it kind of was in Division 1. I think that we're going to get some kind of BR influence. The Division's survival, in my opinion, at its base, is a better game mode than the traditional BR that many of us are playing right now. That said, I still think survival can take a few hints, can take a few lessons, can take a few ideas from those traditional Battle Royale games, and I think that the quote-unquote circle or push system that they're going to use may be one of those things. I don't know what it's going to be. I'm sure they're going to try their best to make it somewhat realistic. I think that's also going to lead to some kind of different extraction. I don't think we're going to go and kill a hunter on top of a building or in an open crossroad and then have a helicopter come pick us up. I suspect it's going to be some other kind of system, maybe deeper, maybe more interesting, maybe a random system. Maybe there's multiple ways to get out. Subway, tunnels, helicopter, exiting through the DZ wall. I don't know. But I'm really excited to see how they're going to handle that. I just really hope that whatever they do, it leads into my next point, in that we need more interaction. I love PvP Division 1 survival. And if people know me well, they know that I'm not exactly a Dark Zone fiend. And it's because I just don't think the PvP is that good in the Dark Zone. I understand why it's fun. I understand the excitement and all that people get out of it. I had that for a while, and it's just kind of dead to me at this point. But I still get pumped every time I see someone in survival, especially if we're both rocking some blue gear, we've both got a gun. It's going to be some kind of fun battle. I really enjoy the PvP and survival, but the problem is that there needs to be more of it. A big part of that is low player counts. I get that. Lots of reasons behind that for Division 1. But for Division 2, I think that one of some amount of things need to happen. Supposedly we have a much, much larger map. If we are going to play the Division 2 survival mode in some way, the way that Division 1 was, where we use the whole map, there's got to be 2-3 times as many players on the map. I'm gonna guess that while Snowdrop has probably improved a lot for Division 2, it's not improved enough that it can handle 2, 3, 4 times more players on the map at any given time. So what I would like to see is actually maybe even keep the 24 player limit, but play in a much smaller part of the map. Games like Islands of Nine do this, where there's one giant map in that game, but every time you get into a match, you only even start off with a fairly small part of it. I would really like to see some kind of system like that, because that offers a few things. Like my previous point, that's going to offer a lot more randomization, different areas to play in. You're not playing the exact same map every single time. You can't rely on that exact same route every single time that you jump in. I really, really like that. It keeps it fresh. It keeps it quick. I think it would make whatever system they're going to use in order to push us together to cause somewhat naturally the PvP. I think it's going to cause some natural PvP, and I think it needs to feel organic and easy, but it needs to happen. I really hope in the next point that they keep skills simple. Like I've said before, I think PvP and survival is the best there is, and it's because it's mostly gunplay. There's skills involved. They're very, very simplified, and it's fun. I don't mind when I face someone. We have maybe a pulse, and maybe they're throwing down a turret. Maybe they're popping a heal. I don't know, but I know that it's not going to be some super OP skill because of their OP build. They're fully optimized, whatever build. Even when the skills are involved in the PvP and survival, even the fights at the end, the high-end fights where people have decent builds in the DZ, it's still fun. And that's because a lot of the things are just so simplified, and I really hope they keep it. There's a lot more I think I could talk about and ask about and go on about. You all know I can do that. I think it might be best for maybe another video later on in this series of daily videos I'm going to try for. The big thing is I really think that we are going to get survival. If you go back and watch the Division 2 interview that Skill Up did with Garrity, it seems that they're very smart people. They know what they can and can't say, but it sure seems like at the very, very least they really, really, really want to bring survival to Division 2. And so that's the whole premise of this speculation. I'm really excited to find out more info about this, about PvP in general. Maybe I won't want this to be the best PvP. Maybe the PvP and the DZ or in some other modes are going to be so awesome, I won't even worry about survival. At the end of the day, I just want to know something, as well as I'm sure most of you do. That said, make sure to check me out on Twitter and Twitch as Baundiesel. Look for the EchoCast on SoundCloud and iTunes. Feel free to support me on Patreon if you wish. Those links are below. You can also check out only Division 2 news and speculation and information on my Twitter account that is the Division 2 Hub. And that's what I have for you this week. This was Baundiesel. See you later.